Wobbles the bat up and down. Fly ball. Startles a college fan. Here's a chance. Not too many baseball games. Now goes to 1-2. Peering in, slowing down the pressure. Oscillates. Strike 3 called, 90-mile-an-hour fastball. Not sure what Charlie Harrigan was waiting for. And that'll end the inning. Through 5. 4 runs, 5 hits, no errors for the Huskies. 0 runs, 4 hits, 2 errors for the Rock Baseball. You're on RedHawk Radio. Jordan Larson will lead off the top half of the 6th inning for the Huskies. Shane Smith, 13 pitches of scoreless baseball, returns to the bump. And he will deliver from the windup. Kicks, he deals, serves a breaking ball center field. So the return makes its way to the batter, misses for a ball. Looking quickly at Smith. Back again. Breaking ball, called strike. Cross behind the plate, Timothy Farway first, third base, Timothy Spizak. Another fastball from Smith. He goes up 1-2. Larson 1 for 2 on the day, got a 2.46 on the year. Breaking ball that is turned down foul. Just got a piece of that to stay alive. Larson will be followed by Malik Peters, followed by Josh Miller. The 1-2. There's a hard curveball. That one's going to get between the shortstop, Vogelsang, and the third baseman, Stevens. It's a base hit for Jordan Larson. 1 on and no away for Malik Peters here in the half of the 6th inning. Try to jolt into those numbers, jolt into these breaking balls.
Just a complete 180 from what we saw early in the game with Miraz.
There's a bunt that's lined foul. Charging hard is third baseman Peters. Stevens, that is.
As I was saying, Spencer Miraz threw almost nothing but fastballs for the entirety of his outing. Now Shane Smith coming in and throwing just a lot of breaking balls, feeding him a steady diet.
Shane Smith flats. Peters squared around for a bunt. Took his bat back. Nevertheless, it's called for a strike. I doubt he goes for a bunt here. As the count goes to 0-2 and no outs. So Malik Peters Peters squares down the front again. He's going to stick with it. That's going to be fouled away, and that's a strikeout, foul ball, bunt. So one away for Shane Smith, bringing up Josh Mutter before we get back to the top of the order with Shazzy.
If you're sitting on the NIU bench right now, you're not pleased there. You get the leadoff runner on first base, bottom of the order. You want Peters to put a bunt down, get the runner over into scoring position, and hopefully let the lineup turn over.
And on the flip side, just one away from Mutter, looking to avoid a double play down the end. There's a fastball, it's on the outside corner. Into the back on that one, spin. Pitch count now goes to Elvin. Elvin is on the sign. Pitch. Rocks ED. Breaking ball to the second baseman. They're going to go for the lead runner. Try to turn two. There would be no play at first. So, two away as the second baseman Stevens throws on the Ferguson. Ferguson ties second base, but unable to get a play to the speedy Mutter. Two away, the lineup turns over to Shazzy. Shazzy 1 for 1 on the day, 275 on the year.
Stevens needed to show a little more urgency on that one. He just kind of flipped the ball over there to Vogelsang at second base, made it a closer play than it needed to be, and he would have fired a strike in there to Vogelsang. Might have had a chance for two.
Nevertheless, here's Shazzy. Digs in from the left side of the plate. Almost is back slightly. The breaking ball is going to be a strike 0-1. Two away, runner on first. Top of the 6 here in Oxford. NIU on the year. They're not hitting particularly well. Hitting the average with a 261 team batting average. Their last at 30%. Fielded well. There's a line drive that'll go into left. Winkler is charging. Field gets it. Good. We go to the bottom of the 6 here. Still looking for runs. Pitching says there. That's the wake up pitch. They had a leadoff hitter will lead us
Your gift enhances the experiences of Miami student athletes in competition, in the classroom, and in the community. You can win by one 529-8097 or visit us at MiamiRedHawks.com.
Big lead over at third base when there was a hard ground ball from Adam. Robertson, big run down. Robertson is the same play. Between second and third base, on display.
Yeah, it's part of the big story of Miami shooting themselves in the foot, especially when it comes to getting runners on. They haven't done that very well all day long, and when they have gotten on, they haven't been able to get them in. Dumb base running errors or just untimely hitting, grounding into double plays, and things of that nature.
Tejada comes into the day fourth in the MAC from batting average. Finds himself at second in the minute. 438 times, almost just once, and drove over 24 times. Start off the inning. Himself in position. Stevens. Stevens, baby.
Is that what you're talking about? Who's on first?
Lassowicz back in. About to deliver his 82nd pitch. He has been efficient. He has been good. Tejada throws back at him. Pitch that one. He's fouled over to the first baseman. Drifting. Foul. So 0-1 to Tejada.
First baseman Larson had a play on that ball. He was up against the wall in the Northern Illinois bullpen, stretching out his arm. Just needed a, Bennett Wise's softball glove to make that catch.
You know what?
Just out of his reach.
Who doesn't need Bennett Wise's softball glove? Bennett, if you're listening, hello, buddy. Hope you're enjoying your day at the Sammy House.
Like we said yesterday, water covers 70% of the earth, and the other 30% is covered by Bennett Wise's softball glove.
That one did indeed get the front left foot of Christian Tejada. And it doesn't matter how, he's on base. Has a good leadoff hitter will do. Bring on Will Vogelsang. Vogelsang, of course, with a hot shot. Ground ball to third baseman Shazzy. Effectively picking off Christian Tejada. Meanwhile, Vogelsang was trying to turn those extra bases to too big of a turn at second base. He was thrown out of the pickle. This time we'll try to get on safely and keep Tejada safe out there on the base pass. Oswood picks over the first. Sliding safely as Tejada. Not a very good pickup by the base. It's a bit to steal. Quick. His teammates. It's going to be shot up the middle for a base hit. Stopping at second as Tejada. Vogelsang is on. And just like that, there are 2 on to go away for the 3-hitter, Landon Stevens of the RedHawks. The RedHawks have started really just finally.
I would have liked to see Tejada try to get third on that one. He was already rounding second base well before the center fielder Mutter fielded that ball. Danny Hayden, seeing that his team has already had several base running miscues on the day, gave Tejada the big stop sign. He was hold at second base.
Those no outs. I'm not sure that he's risking that. We've seen what could go on in high school.
Not wrong.
For the RedHawks on the base path. Part of your order coming up. Why risk it as fast as Tejada is? Here's Stevens. Crouches in. Bright red cleats. Flashlights. On the ropes here. There's a breaking ball. This is
Generous call there from the home plate umpire.
That's been consistent. I've seen a couple pitches that he's called for strikes that I thought have been moving. But he's called them all strikes, so you gotta adjust to the umpire.
Umpire and crew doing a very good job today. We saw Jeffrey Spizak at home last night. He's at third base today, but he had a whale of a game. Got arguments from both sides.
Here's the 0-1 for Masowicz. Masowicz from the stretch. Checks second. Checks again. Delivers. Another breaking ball that one time. Misses. To Landon Stevens. Stevens right around 310. Driven in 31. Only 4 times. Take another one of those right now. Most definitely. He notices that around a couple times. Ready for the 1-1. This was fits deals. A breaking ball. He got a breaking ball that's Landon Stevens. Not one to get to the drive out. Potentially scoring Tejada and even Vogelsang. It's 2-1 to Stevens. The other Stevens, Jordan, patiently waiting in the on-deck circle, looking to make a dent into this lead of the Huskies. Pitch. That one is driven hard left, just foul. That'll bounce off the top.
That's exactly why Lasowitz wasn't giving Stevens fastballs for the majority of this at bat. He finally gives him one, and Stevens hits it about 300 feet down the left field line.
That one would have had a little bit more mustard to it. I think that would have been gone. Problem being as many breaking balls as Stevens has seen. He was just a bit early on that one. He's tying that one up. I think that goes over the head of the left fielder. Joyce, nevertheless, it's 2-2. The break-even pitch. It's a break. We'll go for it.
3-2, I don't know that I would. I mean, you've got a couple of outs to mess with. Maybe if you're going to go fastball, I'd definitely keep it low in the zone around the knees. Try for a hard ground ball in the infield and possibly a double play.
See what he does. He collects. Payoff pitch to Stevens. Last one steals. There's going to be a line drive that's going to go to the wall, left center field. Tejada scores. Here comes Johnson, he's around third. He will score standing up. Coming into third is Landon Stevens. He slides safely. 4-2 ball game. RedHawks cut the deficit in half. No outs running on third. Landon Stevens coming up.
And that's exactly what the RedHawks needed right there. For the second straight game, Landon Stevens coming in with an RBI triple. Finally gets the RedHawks on the board, cuts the deficit in half. And like we talked about, I mean, I was a little bit wrong and said if Landon Stevens gets a low fastball, maybe he rolls over it for the double play. Well, he got a low fastball, and he just lifted it into the left center field gap for the benefit of the RedHawks.
The ball was great on his horse was drinking butter trying to get to that ball. Maybe they could get it rolled to the wall. Still no outs. Jordan Stevens up. Do some more damage. 1 for 2 on the day, looking for his first RBI of the game. There's a fastball low at the knees. That's a strike. 0-1.
And here's where you ask Stevens, the hitter, and the guy in the on-deck circle, Kyle Winkler, just put the ball in play. You know, maybe sky one in the outfield, get a sac fly, or put one on the ground. Just get that runner in from home. Make it a one-run ball game.
Pitch from Mossowitz. He kicks, he deals. That one's going to miss off the outside corner, leaving at 1.
Also, you can see that the juice has returned to that RedHawks dugout. They were a little lackadaisical before that hit. Now, all of them up on the dugout fence, cheering on their teammates, audibly louder.
Pitch. A 1-1 from Mossowitz. That's going to be tipped foul. How big are those 2 innings from Rad, where he was in a little bit of trouble, where he was able to get out? That's why you fight for every pitch. You let those get away from you. It's 6-2. Now it's 4-2. Instead, RedHawks are in this baseball game, especially towards the stretch here. The RedHawks of Miami try to close in on a MAC title. Efforts like that are huge. Here's the 1-2 from Mossowitz. He collects, kicks, the pitch. That one misses way outside. 2-2 to Jordan Stevens with Landon Stevens over there at third with no outs. Kyle Winkler patiently waiting to potentially make another dent into this lead of Huskies. With no outs, he will for sure get a shot. 2-2 to Stevens. It's a fly ball into right field. Charging the percentage. He gets it. Stevens bluffs coming even not. So an unproductive out from Jordan Stevens. I think if he gets that maybe just a couple feet all the way to right field, has a chance to score Stevens.
I would agree with that, but let's not discount the throw from Drobashevich. He threw an absolute strike in. It was eventually cut off by the first baseman, but if he were to let that go, it would have hit the catcher right in the face mask, and Stevens would have been dead meat if he would have gone.
Nevertheless, here's Kyle Winkler, 0-for-2 on the day, 302 batter. Looking for his 28th RBI. A deep fly ball would do the trick. Potentially ground high fly ball on the infield. It's going to be out of play. Let's get Lincoln off vision of that, but I can hear it. Lights off a feature. That's a fly ball out of play. We'll do it again.
And Brady Pfister, I don't know if it's by the miracle of God or something else. We've seen a little sunshine here in Oxford.
Hey now.
I'm going to say that, and it's going to start raining in less than 5 minutes, so prepare yourself, everybody. Yeah,
Come on,
get your umbrellas out.
You're better than that.
I'm not. I can assure you I am not.
Here's the 0-1 to Winkler. It's a 4-2 ball game now after the big hit by Stevens. Landon, that is. The pitch. Ball's going to miss high. 1-1. Winkler. Again, 0-for-2 on the day with the strikeout. Land to get a pitch to lift into the outfield, potentially scoring Stevens from third. I'm not sure. Get that one to save it. Routed into outfield. Base hit, easily scoring Stevens. It's a 4-3 ball game. Here come the RedHawks. That was a fastball that was low to Winkler. Lasowitz. Winkler was able to put a swing on it. Hit it past the diving Shazzy. It's the glove of left field twice. Throw home, easily scoring. Stevens, it's a 4-3 ball game with 1 out. Cal Elvers comes up to hit, hitting .351 on the year. 5 homers. We love his 6 right now. With the RedHawks up 5-4.
Yeah, that leads Miami, so he's got the power. And Winkler on first base, he's 13 for 13 in stolen base attempts. I'd love to see him run in this at bat.
There's a fastball that misses high and in, almost getting the shoulder of Cal Albers. Instead, it arrives safely in the glove of Dunham.
I'm sure Danny Hayden doesn't necessarily need a home run right now. I'm sure he'd settle for one in the gap, plating Winkler all the way from first.
Absolutely. Albers digs in. There goes Winkler, swing and a miss, and they got him dead in his tracks.
That's a terrible jump by Winkler. Lazowitz had already released the pitch by the time Winkler got going. I don't know if he was looking towards Hayden for the sign and just had a little bit of miscommunication there, or what happened, but just not a good jump.
Let me tell you, folks, that one was not even close. I am not extremely experienced in this field, but I can tell by the time that he jumped, there was no shot he was making it safe in a second. Give Dunham credit, that was a good throw. The 1-1, there's a called strike to Albers. It goes to 1-2, suddenly no one on base for Cal Albers. The RedHawks down just 4-3 now. Bottom of 6th. Be interesting to see what the RedHawks do. Bottom, top half of the 7th. Who they decide right out there. Fooled badly on the breaking ball as Albers. That'll end the inning. Lazowitz gets out of it, but the damage done. The RedHawks plate 3. The big hit coming from Landon Steele. We go to the top of the 7th here on Red Hawk Radio with the RedHawks. We're down 4-3. Shane Smith back for his 3rd inning of work. Have 2, 3, and 4 here in the Husky order. Leading off is Brendan Joyce looking for his first hit of the day. He's over 2 with a strikeout. Pitch from Smith, breaking ball off the outside corner. Ball 1. On the top of the 7th. Huskies clinging to a 4-3 lead as Smith works quickly. There was a fastball from him. A little bit of a different arm angle. He does have 2 different arm angles he works with.
Yeah, you got the more over-the-top version, then you also got more of a sidearm 3/4 version. And he'll throw both his fastball and his breaking ball from each of those 2 arm slots.
There's a breaking ball from the over-the-top angle. He goes up 1-2 on Brendan Joyce. Shane Smith has been reliable today, not allowing any runs. It's 1-2. Stuff the outside corner, 89 miles per hour.
Shane's been reliable all year as he's allowed only 7 earned runs in his 29 innings over 12 appearances. So typically he's going 2-3 innings per outing.
Here's the 2-2 from Smith. There's a breaking ball that's chumped all over
Hot
by
soup.
Joyce. That would be some hot soup, my friend. Foul ball off the netting in front of the third base dugout of the Miami RedHawks, and we'll do the 2-2 all over again. Shane Smith working on the two-hitter. Brendan Joyce with none away here on the top of the seventh. Smith rocks. He deals. Breaking ball. Twisted him up. Check swing. He went. There is a strikeout for Shane Smith, his third on the day. And that'll bring Dylan Montine with one away.
Number 37, Dylan Montine.
Montine, 285 on the year, 3 homers and 27 batted in. 3 pitch from Smith. It's a fastball. Just gets to the bottom part of the zone for a strike. Going to home plate umpire Cross. Shane Smith kicks, delivers, breaking ball to the shortstop. Vogelsang. He's going to have to hurry. One hop, fielded by. They got him 2 away quickly here at the top of the seventh, bringing up Jake Dunham, the catcher.
And that's the advantage that Miami has practicing on this turf every day. Vogelsang one-hopped that one on purpose. He one-hopped it about 15 feet in front of Harrigan, and it got a nice bounce right up to the RedHawks first baseman.
That is a significant home field advantage. The RedHawks have been on the receiving end of some bad hops on the turf. It's a breaking ball, 79 miles per hour. Off the inside of the plate, brushing back Dunham just a bit, making one over to Smith. It's a foul back. 2 away here to Dunham. RedHawks down 4 runs and left of this ball game. Able to put together some big hits against the pitcher last week. Finally rattling him a little bit, cutting the lead to 4-3. Back 3 innings left. Here's Smith. There's a lead on that fastball. Umpire Cross says nuts. Here we go to 1-2. 1-2. Jake Dunham. Shane Smith looking to get out of the 7th inning. He kicks. He delivers. He got him. Struck out swinging. Quick inning of work by Shane Smith. He has been a godsend from the west side of Cincinnati to the RedHawks for this game. As has my partner Chris Vinel.
That means it is the 7th inning stretch. So how about your
not say take you out of the
Well, I can't make any promises.
Well, if you do, I will be sure to fix it. For our listeners, we are here on Red Hawk Radio to announce baseball, not FM radio. Kiss 107 to sing tunes. Do we have a new pitcher out?
Did you know we are going to see a new pitcher?
Let's see who we got here.
Looks to be the left-hander Kyle Seaback.
Kyle Seaback. All right, Mr. Seaback. He's a sophomore, right-handed, left-handed actually.
Brady, you know that it's actually Cracker Jack? I'm taking that for that instead of practicing.
I did not know that. It's
Cracker Jack.
knowledgeable baseball man is Chris Vinel, as always. Seaback.
I don't even know if I can claim claim that was all me because I think it was Ben or Wise who told me that.
Seaback's a 6'8" lefty from Rochelle, Illinois. On the year.
Kyle Seaback.
He's pitched 22.2 innings with a 3.97 ERA. He's now 24 hits.
Where do they grow these guys in Northern Illinois? I mean, yesterday we saw William Anderson come out of the bullpen. He's 6'8", 200, and it looked like when he released the ball, his arm was already halfway to home plate. Same thing with Seaback now. He's 6'8", 191, so even a little bit thinner, a little bit lankier. He's got the Aroldis Chapman build plus a couple of inches.
Yeah, I'd say so. Doesn't quite have the velocity. That's a stretch of a comparison. It's McKay Williams will dig in for a lefty-on-lefty matchup. The RedHawks in the bottom of the 7th find themselves down 4-3. Able to establish the bottom half of the 6th inning. McKay Williams digs in to get the first piece of the left-hander Kyle Seaback. Calls for time already.
There's actually a defensive change out there for Northern Illinois. Patty McCormick, the freshman we saw in yesterday's ball game, he's now at second base in for Malik Peters.
There's a foul ball lifted behind home plate. Seabach goes up 0-1 on the K. Williams. McCormick, a defensive specialist, struggles at the plate. That might be an understatement.
Yeah, for a guy hitting well under 100. Yes, 100 on the year and substantial playing time.
Back level, that's not going to cut it. Good from Seabach. Slow breaking ball gets over. He's quickly up 0-2 on the K. Williams. Good move by the manager of Northern Illinois to get their starter out. It's a good outing by Lasowicz. 6 full, allowing 3 runs. Everything holds. He'll be in line for the win. Pitch from Seabach. Got him swinging. 78 miles an hour. Again, K. Williams chased on the outside. He'll go down on strikes by Parker Massman with 1 away.
There's no action in the Miami bullpen, but there is a right-hander warming up in the Northern Illinois bullpen. We'll get you a name as soon as we find out. So it could just be that Kyle Seabach is in there to face 2 of the 3 lefties in this inning and move
Makes
on.
sense. So far, 1 away, mission accomplished. He'll get Massman from the right side here and then Harrigan after before the lineup turns back over to our man, Christian Tejada. There's a pop-up foul. Once again, 0-1 count. It's Parker Massman. Massman's 1 for 2 on the day with the strikeout. Always swinging hard. Let's see what he's able to come up with here. 27 Massman digs in. There's a fastball that misses way outside. 1-1. Massman takes a couple practice swings, taps twice on home plate, adjusts his helmet, wiggles the bat up and down, rests it on his shoulder. Now it's up, the pitch. Outside again, 2-1. Seabach, last outing, 21st against Kent State, 4.1 innings. And this is outside again. It's a 3-1 to Massman. This has been a good at-bat by Massman rather than taking his hacks as he has in the past. In this game, he's let that bat rest on his shoulder.
There's some guys, like we saw early in the game with Lasowicz, batter just can't figure him out.
And this is again, he walked him. So tying runners aboard for Charlie Harrigan. One away here in the bottom of the 7th. Good at bat by Massman, not trying to do too much. Makes the new pitcher Seabach throw strikes. He's unable to. He's able to reach on the walk. Harrigan, lefty on lefty here. 0 for 2 on the day. The pitch. That one's grounded to the second baseman. McCormick to 19 to Larson, and that'll end the inning. Quick double play. Good work by Seabach. Gets the lefty out. Turn it back over to my partner, Chris Vinel, here when we go to the 8th. It's the Huskies 4, the RedHawks 3 here on Red Hawk Radio. back on Red Hawk Radio. I'll turn it over to my partner from the west side of Cincinnati. Chris Vinel, you have the last 2 innings. Go after it, buddy.
Thank you, Brady. I'm calling another West Sider from Cincinnati. Shane Smith on the mound facing Nick Drobashevich. Leadoff batter here in the top of the 8th. Miami currently down 4-3. The first pitch Drobashevich sees is off the outside corner away. Ball 1. Shane Smith working quickly. He will deal the second pitch. This one's on the ground towards Harrigan at first. Harrigan will scoop it up and tap on the bag himself. That's 1 up, 1 down very quickly for Shane Smith. Next batter will be
number 14, Cam Smith.
Cam Smith, the designated hitter. Smith on the day 1 for 3, has driven in a run, but did leave 2 runners on base as well. Part of 6 Husky runners in that category. First pitch to him is in there for a called strike, 89-mile-an-hour fastball on the outside corner. Smith doing a very good job of changing speeds so far. He's in his 4th inning of work now as he throws a ball just below the knees of Smith. Only 39 pitches through 3 1/3. 1 hit allowed, no walks, no earned runs, 4 strikeouts for the Miami righty. This one is on the ground to Stevens at third. He'll fire on to Harrigan, and out number 2 is in order for Shane Smith. Hard hit ball that time. It was a 1-hopper down to Stevens. They call it the hot corner for a reason. He took care of it. Able to go down to a knee and scoop that one up. Throw on to Harrigan at first. Making a tough play look easy. Jordan Larson, the batter now. He's 2 for 3, having a good day so far. He'll step in a little bit of an open stance. Smith's first pitch to him, just a little bit low. 81-mile-an-hour breaking ball. Like we said, Shane Smith just masterful at changing speeds and has paid off so far today. He delivers a fastball in there just a little bit low. 2-0 count now to the first baseman of Northern Illinois, Jordan Larson. Smith taking his time on the mound this time. Dust off the rubber with his cleat. He'll get set. He's ready to go. The 2-0, just a little bit low as well. Runs the count to 3-0 now. Got to expect a get-me-in fastball will be coming up from Shane Smith. Smith kicks and deals. There it is, right down the chute, 88 miles an hour. It's in there for a strike. Larson taking all the way that time. Now in a good hitter's count of 3-1. Smith looking in for his sign. Here's the pitch. He goes curveball. This one's popped up towards the right side, shallow right field. Stevens, the second baseman, tracking. He's under it and makes the play. So a quick 3 up, 3 down for the Huskies. Miami's Shane Smith sets him down in order, continuing his great outing so far, and Miami will look to finally tie this one up in the bottom of the 8th. They're running out of time to do it, but they're making progress. Northern Illinois jumped on the board first, struck for 3 in the first inning, added another one in the second, and have been held scoreless since by the combo of Spencer Mraz, the starter, and now Shane Smith over the last 4 innings. Miami held scoreless until the bottom of the 6th inning. They've tacked on 3, went without a run last inning, but now have a chance to do it once again. Christian Tejada, the leadoff hitter, will also lead off this inning. Looks like Kyle Seebach, the left-hander we saw last inning, will be back out there on the mound. Still action in the Northern Illinois bullpen. A couple of guys stretching down there, both right-handers. No action in Miami's bullpen, so it looks like Shane Smith will be trusted to carry this one out. Seebach finishing his warm-up tosses. Catcher Dunham throws down. And Christian Tejada will walk on up to the plate. Tejada's 1 for 2 on the day. Did score one of the RedHawks' 3 runs. He'd love to do that again. We saw him earlier in the ballgame make it all the way to third as well, before he was caught in a pickle between home and third base. Was eventually thrown out as the first pitch he sees is off the inside corner. 89-mile-an-hour fastball at the knees, but just a little too far inside.
I'll tell you what, I'll make some killer nachos
I've never seen a broadcaster eat more than Brady Pfister when he's on the mic, as that one's in there for a called strike, 86 miles an hour on the outer third.
Up, baby.
Oh, I completely understand. I've been nursing a hamburger for the entirety of this ball game.
Gone. First game.
I talk too much. I can't. My mouth doesn't have time. As Tejada drives on into center field, Mutter comes on to make a diving catch. He had a long way to go to get that one, as the ball was trailing into the right center field gap. Came on, dove, and made the play, robbing Christian Tejada of at least one, maybe two.
That was all or nothing. Mutter doesn't make that play. He started out to turn past him with the speed of Tejada.
That's going on the wall. Tejada's got to be thinking 3, possibly even 4, depending on how fast either Mutter can recover and get back there, or the right fielder, Drobicevic, can come over. Nevertheless, it's 1 out. Nobody on base for Will Vogelsang, the shortstop. He looks at a ball upstairs. Vogelsang 1 for 3 on the day. He also scored a run. And Stevens, the guy in the on-deck circle, scored the last of Miami's 3 runs. He drove in the first 2 with his RBI triple. That's the big hit in the game so far for Miami, as Vogelsang squares the bunt and fouls it into the netting behind home plate. A little bit of a drag bunt attempt there by Will, trying to use his speed. Came successful. 1-1 the count now from Kyle Seebach to Will Vogelsang.
Take back my comment about the nachos. As I get to the bottom of the box here, it's a bunch of crumbs. It's a 5 out of 10 experience, I'd say. The cheese is excellent.
1 bite, you know the rule with Brady. You got to give it a 1 bite rule.
I know. These are. I can't see them. Listen. I'll tell you what. This is a half a bite. That's not going to cut it, folks. That's not going to cut it.
Vogelsang takes a swing at that one and fouls it in the protective netting behind home for the second straight pitch. Now sitting in a 1-2 hole. Seebach have a couple of pitches to mess around with, if I can get that out of my mouth. Vogelsang choked up big time. We saw him do that last time with 2 strikes. He struck out, so it didn't work. We'll see if it works this time, as Seebach delivers a pitch high and outside. That's a fastball at 91 miles an hour. Good stuff from the left-hander we're seeing so far, but the count is 2-2. Vogelsang crouched down, standing right up on that plate. He'll put one in play this time, grounded on the to the second baseman. He'll take care of it. Fires within enough time to even get the speedy Vogelsang, and there's 2 away. Landon Stevens, the batter now. Landon is 2 for 3 with 2 RBIs. As we said, he had that big 2-run triple a couple of innings back in the bottom of the 6th. I'm sure he would love to have another big hit here and try to tie it up with 1 big swing. Jordan Stevens waiting on the on-deck circle. The RedHawks cleanup hitter will bat if we get that far. If his brother in red is able to get on base here in Landon Stevens. He takes the first pitch strike on the outer third of the plate. This little 2-seamer there from Kyle Seebach. Seebach the windup and the pitch. He throws a breaking ball in there that time. It's spoiled by Stevens, out of play behind home plate. Stevens will step out and do the old Johnny Gomes routine, adjust the batting gloves, adjust the batting helmet, and he'll step back in there with an 0-2 count.
Old Johnny. That guy was a fireball.
Landon Stevens hoping to be a fireball right now and provide the RedHawks with that spark needed to get back in this ball game. He takes the pitch way up and way outside. Gets away from the catcher Dunham, but with nobody on base, doesn't do anything.
I think Gomes had some sort of person. I'll tell you what, that guy played with passion. Played with passion.
That's all you can ask for, right? Well, talent always helps out. A little work ethic.
Lack that a little bit. Talent, at least.
That pitch to Landon Stevens is outside the zone. Once again, missing badly is Seebach, and that runs the count to 2-2 with 2 outs. Landon Stevens, the 3-hole hitter, standing in the right-handed hitter's batter's box. Wind up and the pitch. fooled him there a little bit with the breaking ball as he was way out in front, able to foul it off.
That was visible. You could see that he was expecting a fastball and was determined to take a hack at that pitch. Had to slow down his swing a little bit.
Had to pull back just a little bit, did Stevens. Now with the count remaining 2-2, maybe he gets that fastball here. He calls time. He's going to step out, adjust the batting gloves once again. Maybe a little mind game is going on, throw off Seabach's routine. You know, if you're Stevens right now, you want that fastball out over the plate. I'm not either. He actually does get one. He rips it into center field. That's down for a base hit. And a line drive single at that from Landon Stevens. Hard hit ball. I'm sure Danny Hayden, standing down there in the third base coach's box, is hoping for that as Jordan Stevens, his cleanup hitter, steps to the plate. Stevens 1 for 3 on the day as well. Landon, even for a big guy down there at first base, he runs relatively well. 10 for 12 on stolen base attempts on the year. However, we've seen the RedHawks be unsuccessful on Jake Dunham, the catcher. Been unable to run on him all series long. He's already thrown out a couple of guys, including Kyle Winkler earlier today, who was a perfect 13 for 13 in that category. Now 13 for 14, as Jordan Stevens. Wow. Takes the pitch right down the middle. Here's the second pitch to him. That one gets Stevens towards the right side into right field. Landon Stevens is going to head on to third base. He'll slide in safely with no throw. And as Brady said, maybe a little two-out magic for the RedHawks. Kyle Winkler, the 5-hole hitter, will come up. Winkler 1 for 3 on the day. He drove in Stevens earlier in the ballgame for the third and final RedHawk run. He'd love to do it again.
This is a big at-bat for Kyle Winkler. Obviously, you'd like to hope that RedHawks can put together a little bit of a rally next inning. But, there's no time like the present. You got a runner in scoring position at third base to tie the game. You don't want to mess around much longer. And it looks like the Huskies will be making that call.
It looks like Seabach's day is done. They have a pitcher waiting in the bullpen, ready to get his shot. NIU skipper will go out there and have a chat with his big left-hander. All of the infield has converged on the mound. We're awaiting the sign to the bullpen. Haven't gotten it yet. Kyle Winkler, regardless of who he faces, will look to deliver a big hit in this ballgame. They're actually going to leave Kyle Seabach out there. Maybe that was just stalling for a little bit to help those guys in the bullpen get ready. Seabach will face Winkler. Winkler, as I mentioned, 1 for 3 on the day. Average sitting at 308 on the year, 4 home runs, 28 knocked in, just a couple off the lead. Landon Stevens is currently leading that category. The first pitch to Winkler is off the plate away, an 88-mile-an-hour fastball. A little too low, a little too outside, according to the home plate umpire, Wayne Krause. 1-0 count now to the RedHawks left fielder. Winkler getting down his batting crouch. No swing on this one. It's going to be a fly ball towards the right side. Shallow right field. Drobushev is coming on. Drobushev is coming on. And he will retire the side. So inning over for the RedHawks. 4-3. Northern Illinois still leads as the RedHawks aren't able to push across to anyone. And we'll be right back on RedHawk Radio. We'll see if Miami has any last inning magic in them. We're back here in the top of the ninth. Shane Smith still on the mound for the RedHawks. If he goes any farther into this game and gets an out, he will have gone farther than the RedHawks starter Spencer Mraz, who went 4 earlier in this game. First pitch from Smith is a called strike. The batter is McCormick, Patty McCormick, who we saw come on in the last inning as a defensive replacement.
Good old Patty Strong. He's got a .071 batting average, 1 RBI, no home runs.
That only got worse yesterday when he was held without a hit. He swings and has some hot soup right into the NIU dugout.
That's some scalding hot soup right there. Boiling, I dare say.
You don't get much hotter than that as his teammates applaud him. 0-2 count now to Patty.
The best contact he's made all year.
He'll be looking for a little bit better here. Hopefully trying to straighten it out as Shane Smith delivers a breaking ball below the zone for ball 1.
Foul ball. That looks like a golf swing at the tee, Chris.
I barely get it in the air these days. Brady can attest to that as McCormick takes the ball off the outside corner. Another breaking ball from Smith, really trying to put McCormick away. McCormick not giving chase. Here's the 2-2 as McCormick skies this one to center field. Very shallow. Parker Massman coming on. He'll make the play for out number 1. Yeah, we're not a big fan of raindrops here in Oxford, so we're hoping that holds off at least for another inning. The score holds at 4-3 for the rest of this inning, then NIU will be walking home, at least for the night, with another victory, evening this series at 1-1. Miami won 12-0 yesterday. Game 3 scheduled for tomorrow at 1 p.m. Shane Smith the pitch to Mutter, the center fielder. That's over for a called strike. Josh Mutter 0 for 3 on the day with 1 strikeout. Has left 3 runners on base. He grounds this one towards the right side. Landon Stevens, the second baseman, will pick it up and fire on Harrigan at first, and there are quickly 2 away.
Shane Smith, I cannot tell you how impressed I am with him. He's really kept the RedHawks in this game, and even with Mraz, sure, he didn't have the start he was looking for. He didn't make it deep into this ball game. He was battle. He off to get to a spot where the RedHawks are down 1. Can't ask for a whole lot more from a starting pitcher. Put him in the ball game, and same with Shane Smith. No complaints from him.
Can't complain about Shane Smith at all. 4 2/3 now, only 1 hit, no walks, 4 strikeouts, and he's only thrown 55 pitches. So if this game were to go any longer, say Miami ties it up in the bottom of the ninth and we go to extras, Shane Smith will presumably stay out there. He's facing the top of the lineup right now in Tommy Schnasny. Schnasny offers at that one. 0-2 now the count as he came up empty.
Pulled badly on that one. Expecting a fastball. It's right over.
Here comes the 0-2 from Smith. That one he bounces in the dirt. 84-mile-an-hour fastball. Lost his grip on that one, it seems. As Schnasny takes for ball 1.
Well, folks, I made it to the bottom of my nachos. And again, a mediocre experience. I go with their brats and hamburgers here. 69 miles an hour.
Very nice. As
Nice indeed.
Schnasny takes for ball 2. That one was just a bit upstairs. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs now in the inning as Shane Smith deals. That one is inside. Schnasny has worked the count full now. After going down quickly 0-2, 3 consecutive balls outside of the strike zone by Shane Smith.
Here comes that weather.
Here's the payoff pitch as the rain starts. That one is off the plate inside. A fastball that was very close. Home plate umpire Wayne Krause says too far inside. And the Huskies have a runner aboard.
Again, the turf field
Number 1,
comes into play here. Not a lot of dirt to get wet, so rain isn't as much of an issue. The issue comes in if we get some lightning.
We can play with a little bit of raindrops going on as Brennan Joyce steps in. Shane Smith throws to him, a breaking ball off the outside corner. 1-0 now the count. Schnasny at first base. He'll take a moderate-sized lead. Shane Smith will look over there, then deliver the pitch. That's right down Broadway, an 87-mile-an-hour fastball. Joyce takes 4, strike 1. Smith gets set. He will deliver. There's a breaking ball that time. It's on the ground towards Vogelsang at short. He'll throw into second. This throw is going to go into right field, and both runners will advance. Charlie Harrigan, the first base, is going to cut it off, and they're going to send the runner Shazny home. Here comes a throw. He's safe at the plate. He was able to avoid the tag with a slide towards home plate. Elver is unable to slap the tag on him, and that is an insurance run.
Hurting out there. I think he's coming up. That was hurt or not. That was not the move to get the lead runner. That was a bad throw off his back foot sidearm flip. Goes into right field. And again, I think that the catcher, Elvers, is kicking himself because the lead runner came around to score. Nevertheless, I think Elvers had a shot to tag him out. Missed. The throw was there in time. The issue was, I think Elvers just missed the tag. That would have been a big third out. It looks like Vogelsang will stay in the game. Yeah, he's coming out.
We'll take a slight pause here. It looks like Colin Shepard is going to come out. We saw him at shortstop on Tuesday, typically a second baseman, but nevertheless, it looks like Will Vogelsang will exit this game. He's walking back to the dugout with a trainer and his skipper, Danny Hayden.
No, it's too bad for Vogelsang. That's a costly error. Costly error indeed. 5-3 is a much different deal than 4-3. It's an uphill battle. You've got to get multiple runners on.
Defensive change for the RedHawks. Coming in, play at shortstop.
Third error of the ball game for the RedHawks after we saw them not commit a single one yesterday. If you're keeping score at home, Joyce ruled with a fielder's choice before each runner's advanced and Schnasny scored on that throwing error.
Well, Coach Hayden can't be pleased. 3 errors, rather against a team that is worst in the MAC.
Montine with a base hit up the middle. With Shane Smith allowing his first run of the ball game on the air. It was unearned, however. Now that one will plate another runner, so it's 6-3. Northern Illinois, they've played add-on here, adding on 2 runs, giving themselves a bit of breathing room for a potential Miami comeback in the bottom of the 9th.
It's bad baseball right there. Bad baseball, I'm sure.
Jake Dunham takes a home run swing at that one, comes up empty on an 89-mile-an-hour fastball from Shane Smith. Dunham all the way down to a knee when he swung on that one. Smith ready to go. He's working quickly. Can't be too pleased with his effort.
A lot of this is
The effort behind him, at least.
I think he allowed 1 single on a ground ball and just moved past the shortstop Shepard. I think the person he has to blame is Vogelsang. Worst comes to worst, you eat that ground ball in the way that, Smith still, no earned runs, only 2 hits allowed in his outing today.
Here's the 0-2. Dunham offers at that one and fouls it back into the netting behind home plate. A little tapper.
The effort that Shane Smith's had, you don't try to force that out. You're going to have plenty of other opportunities to get it out if he just keeps doing his thing. Instead, trying to be Superman, you throw it into right field and, all of a sudden it's 5-3 now, 6-3 after a single. Not good.
Not only costly for this game, but costly if Vogelsang misses any time. This one's skied towards center field. Massman will go back and take care of it for out number 3, but damage done for the Huskies. They cross 2 runs over home plate, now lead 6-3. We'll go to the bottom of the 9th. Be interesting to see what the Huskies do on the mound. We've seen Kyle Seabach take care of the last 2 innings after the starter went 6. All 3 RedHawk runs so far came in the 6th inning. They were all off the starter, Michael Lazowitz. Seabach, 2 scoreless. He's given up 2 hits and walked 1, but RedHawks unable to capitalize. And it looks like it will be Seabach, the 6'8 lefty, back on the mound for his 3rd inning of work. At least he will be the one to come out there and take a few warm-up pitches. Rain threatening here in Oxford as we head to the bottom of the ninth, however. It's just a light drizzle at this point, pretty inconsistent. We hope it stays there at least through the end of this ball game. Looks like we'll get a pinch hitter at some point in this inning, as well as Cole Andrews, the freshman catcher, is out on the on-deck circle with Cal Elvers. He'll actually retreat back to the dugout now, so I'm not sure what's going on with that situation. There is a pitcher ready in the Northern Illinois bullpen if they need him. Looks to be a right-hander down there. Cal Elvers will lead things off. Elvers 0 for 2 on the day. Has walked once, but was not able to come around and score. He leads the team in home runs at the moment. I'm sure Miami would love one right here. I think they take any offense they can get at the moment. Down 6-3 and struggling to stay in this ball game. He flies one to center field, and Mutter back. He'll take care of it. That's a quick out, number 1, even if it was a little bit loud. Elvers put a charge into that one.
It's not what you want for Cal. The power hitter. You like to look the Cal against this. See what you can do. Again, one swing of the bat just makes it 6-4 versus 6-3.
Cole Andrews is officially introduced as a pinch hitter. He'll come on for McKay Williams. McKay, a left-handed batter, would be facing the lefty Seebach. Instead, they're going to go with the right-handed hitter against Seebach. Cole Andrews, the freshman. Andrews hitting .324 on the year. We saw him pinch hit yesterday as well. First pitch he sees, he takes off the outside corner. 89-mile-an-hour fastball is just a little bit too far off the plate. Seebach winds and delivers. That one's off the outside corner as well. 86 on the gun that time. Plate umpire will call time. Both batter and pitcher will step off their respective positions. Andrews back in the box now. Seebach on the mound. He looks in for the sign and gets set. The windup and the pitch. This one is spoiled off towards the right side over the Northern Illinois dugout. Out of play for strike 1. 2-1 the count now to the RedHawks freshman. Seebach's done a great job so far in his third inning of work, trying to shut the RedHawks down and close this one out for Northern Illinois. His pitch to Andrews is off the plate away, ball 3. We've seen only a combined 4 pitchers between the two teams today. You don't often see that, just a starter and one reliever. They've gone the distance so far as Andrews fouls another one off towards the right side. Full count now. Like we've said, Seebach not overpowering anyone. Only 1 strikeout in his 3 innings of work. Has allowed 2 hits, but he's getting out. Here's the 3-2. He walked him. Andrews down to first base after a pitch way outside.
Do the same.
First pitch swinging. Flew out to center field. He was followed by Cole Andrews, who worked a walk. He's now down at first base. Parker Massman, the center fielder, comes on. He's 1 for 2 on the day. He's also worked a walk, but has left 2 runners stranded on base. In a day full of those for Miami. Massman ready in the box. Here's the pitch. That one's upstairs. 86-mile-an-hour fastball. Tried to get Massman to chase. Did Seebach. No cigar. Andrews not too much speed down there at first base. He runs like a catcher. His natural position. The pitch from Seebach is taken for a called strike on the outer third of the plate. Good pitch there by Seebach. Getting that first strike of the at-bat to Massman. Wind up and the pitch. Massman takes a big cut at that one. Comes up empty. 1-2 the count now. A ground ball double play would end this one. Second baseman shading a little bit more towards the second base bag. Shortstop for Northern Illinois remaining in his normal position. And they're in even with the bag at the corners. First baseman Larson is holding Andrews on. Parker Massman at the plate, Kyle Seabach on the mound. Here's the pitch from Seabach. It's drilled down the left field line, but it's out of play. Massman would love to straighten that one out.
Way out of that one. Pulled it hard left. Ben Faird's probably gone.
Seabach giving Massman a lot of fastballs in this at bat. Finally came with a breaking ball, and Massman was way out in front of it. He'll take a practice swing or two outside of the box, step back in. Seabach is ready on the mound. Massman ready in the box. Here we go, 1-2. This one is swung on and lined down the third baseline. Third baseman can't handle it. And that's a base hit for Parker Massman. Cole Andrews will hold at second base, but the RedHawks now have 2 runners on with only 1 down in the inning.
You'd like to have Christian Tejada at the bat. 2 on, 1 away, bottom of the 9th inning, down 3.
It looks like we're actually going to get another pinch hitter here. Charlie Harrigan was the scheduled batter. It looks like it's going to be Nate Stoles, another freshman catcher.
A pinch hitter for the RedHawks. Come to the plate, number 29, Nate Stoles.
He's supposed to soon. Tejada actually is on deck. So given there's no double play, we will see him after Stoles.
Stoles has been a productive hitter so far for Miami this year as well. He started 16 ball games, appeared in 18. In 54 at-bats, he has 16 hits for a .296 average. He'd love to add another to that total right now. He's facing lefty Seabach, and umpire calls time. He's communicating something to the RedHawks dugout. Either way, play will resume. He puts the ball back in play. Stoles waves the bat around once or twice, steps back in the box. He's ready to go. Here's the pitch. He takes a called strike on the outside corner, 86-mile-an-hour fastball. Looked to be a little high for my taste, but
You're not in the batter's box, friend.
I'm not in the batter's box.
That'll be a bad thing for Seabach.
That would be a horrendous thing for Miami, as they need some hits right now, down 6-3, and I would surely not provide that. Here's Seabach with the pitch. He looks back at the runner at second base, now delivers. This one's fouled off into the netting behind home plate by Stoles. Down 0-2 with 1 out.
Stoles has the battle choke up on the bat. Just wait for his pitch. Seabach probably won't give him a ton of good things to hit. At the same time, Stoles does not face Tejada after this.
Stoles in his first year at Miami, providing the backup catching duties to Cal Elvers. And looking to come through big in the clutch here. He puts a swing on this one. It's flied out to right field.
Drifting back is what got hold of that one.
Huskies right fielder will take care of it, and Cole Andrews is actually going to hold out second base. He thought about going to third, took a couple of steps that way before ultimately retreating. I think he could have made it 2. The throw was cut off behind the second base bag by the second baseman McCormick, but all runners hold where they started. Now as the RedHawks are down to their final out, Christian Tejada will be the batter. There's not many people Danny Hayden would probably like to have up there than Tejada. Tejada, the hottest of Miami hitters. Over the course of the entire season, he's 1 for 3 today, scored a run. It's actually Miami's first run all the way back in the bottom of the 6th inning. Scored on Landon Stevens' triple, the first pitch to him. He's swinging, and this one is skied towards center field. This should do it, and the RedHawks will take a 6-3 loss. Northern Illinois coming in with 2 insurance runs in the 9th inning. They put it away. Miami unable to come back. Final for the day, 6 runs, 7 hits, no errors for NIU. For Miami, 3 runs, 10 hits, and 3 very costly errors, all of them seeming to come at the wrong time. They always do. There's never a good time for an error, but these seem to be particularly costly. Spencer Mraz, the starter for Miami, went 4 innings, gave up 3 runs. 3 earned runs, 4 runs total. Shane Smith came on and gave up 2 runs, both of them unearned. He had 5 innings of just stellar work. We can't complain about the day that Shane Smith had at all.
Yes, sir.
But you can say the same thing about NIU pitching, as the starter Lazowitz went 6 innings, gave up 3 runs on 7 hits, just a very productive outing for him. And then Seabach, the left-hander, came on, replaced Lazowitz, and gave 3 solid innings of 3-hit baseball and no runs as well. So that's where we stand. This series is all tied up, 1-1. Brady, any final takeaways from today?
Yeah, obviously it was it's tough to get off to the start that the RedHawks did. I think that their bat started a little bit too late. There are a lot of things that, you can blame on luck. You can also just say that 3 errors, really inexcusable. I think it comes down to the errors made in the field. It comes down to the poor start by the batters who was able to get together. Shane Smith obviously played a stellar game, but you know what? The RedHawks just didn't put together a complete game. There were times where their pitching was great, but the fielding was not. There were times where the fielding was there. That they're just could never put together the big 3, the fundamentals of fielding, pitching, and hitting. They were able to do that. As a result, the Illinois Huskies
Yeah, the Huskies get over the 500 mark in conference, sitting at 9-8, an overall record of 13-29. Miami moving to 31-11. Like you said, 12-5 in conference. Tomorrow we'll be right back for the payoff game. Series tied at 1-1. The probable starter for Miami is Jack Corbell, and we will be on the call at 1 o'clock. We will talk to you then. For Brady Pfister, I'm Chris Vinel, signing off. We'll see you later. This is Red Hawk Radio.